Sup, guys. My name is Ryu for the YugiohCouncil. Welcome to Coffee Time, your Monday morning discussion video released in the evening because I get super uber busy. And let's make this happen. Now, before us get started, obviously this week is spring break in New York for, well, most of the kids. Obviously me being a parent. Yeah, so there's that. So things are going to be a little wonky. Hopefully they won't, but they may be this week, so I'm going to do what I can this week, but let's make this happen, shall we? So, this is a follow-up from yesterday's video that was recorded on Tuesday called One Shot, which is a brand new series I was testing the waters with, where it's no edits, no, changing my ideas 4 times like I do at Coffee Time. It's just straight talking to the camera and making shit happen. And it worked out great. You guys were digging it from what I saw. So, this idea actually comes from Mikey. It's a follow-up from yesterday's video, talking about the meta shift change and what your decks will have to do to adjust to it. Because I've been noticing a lot too, and I don't just take Mikey's ideas and run with them. I've also been noticing too, there's been a lot of people rage quitting on Yugioh Pro and Dev Pro over Blue Eyes White Dragon decks. And I think that's appalling and retarded at the same time. And I don't like using the word retarded in that paraphrasing. I don't like using it that way in general because it's really silly to rage quit against a deck that honestly is really easy to stop. So we're gonna go over everything, and basically we'll talk about the meta decks and why Blue Eyes won't be meta in the same light too. So basically it's gonna be expanding upon what we talked about yesterday in One Shot. So if you didn't see One Shot, you could check the channel and it's One Shot. The joke was it's supposed to be One Punch, but that's a totally different thing. So, Shining Victories gives us a card called Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. We'll be talking heavily about it tomorrow on Tech Tuesday, but I'm going to give you a short version. Basically, it's a hand trap that if your opponent has more setup of monsters and whatnot than you do, then you can fuck with their extra deck. I'll phrase it that way. It requires a little bit more, but you can fuck with their extra deck. And that makes it hard for decks like PK Fire and Burning Abyss to really start topping. That also hurts Blue Eyes, even though the deck spams out a 3000 beat stick. Hey, guess what? Alternative is not here yet. Hey, guess what? Just because we have a movie pack doesn't mean alternative is even announced for it yet. Let's not get all hyped for something that may not even be there and be let down and cursing Konami. Let's not do that today. Let's not. So here's my thing. Mermails are a prime example of a really strong deck that does well, but it's not truly meta right now. And when I say that, they're not a deck that you heavily have to worry about. They're pretty much like a rogue factor. And that's where ultimately I feel Blue Eyes will fall under, because it will forever be just right under the meta, and that's perfectly fine by me. Maybe not by you guys, but that's fine by me. Here's my thing. Monarchs and I want to say Cosmos are going to be the big two to really contend with. Because Monarchs don't need an extra deck. They can lock you out of it. And Cosmos don't really need an extra deck. They can lock you out of it. So here's the thing. With Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, the one main factor that Blue Eyes would have against Cosmos would be Alternative Dragon. They literally get shitted on by Ghost Reaper because all the Cosmo player has to do is have it in his extra deck and be like, oh, goodbye. Done. Goodbye. Because usually Cosmos, have one monster on the field against Blue Eyes. That's something that does happen. And Blue Eyes need 2 on the board to make said Alternative Dragon. You see what I'm getting at here? But let's turn away from Blue Eyes and turn into the PK Fire argument. Same thing here. They could put in Dante. They could put in the Phantom Knight Breaksword and just rip them all out. Because what do those decks do? They spam. And Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is going to hurt the meta quite a bit. It's going to cause a shift that Cosmos are probably going to end up being, if not the one deck, then one of the 2 decks to really contend with, because it depends how Monarchs hold their consistency. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be ready with Light Imprisoning and Shadow Imprisoning. Those are going to be 2 of the most key important backbone cards throughout this entire format. And I cannot stress this enough. Yes, Rival of the Warlords. Yes, Imperial Ironwool. These are all great choices. But at its core, to make sure you have plenty of room in that side deck, Light Imprisoning and Shadow Imprisoning should be the first 2 things you go to. Light Imprisoning, shits all over Blue Eyes. then you just need to destroy the deck with ease. It's not even hilarious. It's just pure honesty. I'm not trying to be like making a joke here. It's pure honesty. It stops PK Fire with Shadow Imprisoning, but it also stops the light side of it with Dante, and they won't get the mill. But, like I said, there's still plenty of things to worry about. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is just opening the door to that. DMOC is still out there. We don't know what DMOC is going to completely do by itself. And you could argue, but a lot of these things have like big 3,000 beat sticks. Yeah, that's cool and everything. But Ryu, did you see the Cosmo leaks? Man, Cosmo is going to be tier 1. But till we get that, card pool together, we can't really say they're going to be tier 1. Well, tier 0. I'm sorry, tier 0. There will be tier 1 for sure. There's no fucking denying Cosmos have a place in the meta right now. And they have a foothold in there because they're like, what's an extra deck? I'm just going to play like Monarch Engine. And then when I play the Pantheonism of Monarchs with my fucking Cosmos with Monarch Stormforth, because someone's going to end up doing it. And you get a whole fucking draw engine from there. It's like, oh look, just make Cosmos faster. But they're already fast enough because a lot of the new cards that Cosmo have received basically open really powerful turn 1 tin can plays. Yes, this is coming from someone who does not play Cosmos on a daily basis, but understands that concept of you use Cosmo Tin Can equals major fucking plays for the deck equals looping because there are loops with Sword Troopers and whatnot. Yes, I do study on these things for you guys. So when I talk about it, I know exactly what I'm talking about when I, analyze everything. But then there's also like the kind of factor that we don't know, which is the, like I said, the DMOC factor, which is the Brilliant Fusion, the Monarch Engine, and fucking, I want to say, what was it? Brilliant Fusion, Monarch Engine, and then like Into the Void with Hand Destruction. That could lead to a whole new turbo deck, and then you have like Magical Explosion all over again. I don't want Magical Explosion. I don't want Life Equalizer being a thing. I don't think we could. I think the Life Equalizer thing is dead, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I think one of the most other most important cards that you guys should be paying attention to is Mind Drain. That's something that I feel like doesn't get enough, like, oh my god, look at this card. Especially if you're playing PK. If you're playing PK Fire or Blue Eyes, your ass should be having Mind Drain in that extra deck for Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. And again, I know I'm just like plugging tomorrow's video, but there's a reason I don't want this just becoming a Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries video and then doing a Tech Tuesday on that alone. That's kind of my thing. I don't want to like, flood it just completely with it. But damn, it's Shining Victories is not a set that really changes the meta. It just takes out one factor in the meta. And it's a 1-card difference. So to say this whole entire set changes the meta is incorrect. It's just 1 card that changes the meta because it hurts the fuck out of that deck topping. And I did hear that at, I want to say, YCS Dallas recently, Infernoid's topped, which is kind of interesting because everyone just wrote off the deck. I think that goes into player skill as well, that some people just don't look at. They go, oh, that deck is dead, and they don't worry about it, and then obviously it pops up. But, yeah. If you're playing Cosmos, I'm going to be very helpful at this point. Imperial Ironwall, it may sound like kind of crazy. Why the fuck would you even do that? Or, actually, no, scratch that. Chaos Trap Hole. Chaos Trap Hole is the 1 card I've been wanting to talk about. Chaos Trap Hole is fucking amazing because it hits every light and every dark, and if you look at the meta right now, if you look at everything topping right now, even if you're not playing meta and you have a locals that people just play the crap out of it, Chaos Trap Hole is like the greatest. Don't even worry about Solemn Strike. I'm being completely serious. Worry about Chaos Trap Hole because here's the thing. Solemn Strikes are like $65 a piece. Chaos Trap Holes are $5. So whether you're a budget player or a meta player or just in the middle, or just you don't want to spend tons on it because you know the reprint's coming at the end of the year, Chaos Trap Hole is your best friend right now. Honest to God, it's your best friend. If I could do more Tech Tuesdays in one Tuesday, I probably would. Just to cover all these things, my God, there's an animal in my freaking, in the bags. The bags. Anyways, that's besides the point. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in as always. If you enjoyed this like crazy discussion of coffee time with the upcoming meta, the follow-up to One Shot usually goes up on the weekends when I actually record a One Shot. There is one more one-shot video that I did, and I think you guys will like it. It's separate from Coffee Time. Coffee Time's more kind of already planned out for 4 hours straight of what I really want to say in one video, while one shot's just like put on the camera and talk. It's, you know, it's not planned, it just happens. That's what she said. My wife has a few times. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching as always. Ryu out.